Good morning, good morning, good morning. Time check it is 29 minutes to 8. And this is Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website, www.wfm917.com. That being said, my name is Olufubilaya Bangala, and I'm not here alone. No. I'm here with
Hassanet Metula. Good morning.
Good morning, Nima. I want some energy. Good morning, Nima.
Good morning.
That's much better. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How
Good,
are you?
good. Alhamdulillah. You said something this week. You said Subhanallah means God forbid.
Oh, no. Perfect is Allah's glory.
Oh, hey. I learned the wrong thing when I was at uni. But yeah. Okay, let's get into it. Of course, you know that we're going to run through the headlines this morning, and then we're going to get into it with our analyst as soon as he joins us. But first of all, our thoughts and prayers are with the Venezuelan people, the people of Venezuela. There was an earthquake over the weekend that killed quite a few people. An infant, I think, was rescued. Was it this morning or maybe late last night? And natural disasters they're not something that I'm particularly I don't like them at all. That's not a conversation that I like to talk about. But then we do realize that we have some countries that experience natural disasters like tsunamis, like earthquakes, like whirlwinds, flood, and our thoughts are prayers with them. But right now, the people of Venezuela need our prayers, they need our help. So as much as you can, keep talking about it, and let's see. This one is not for like how our Nigerian roads are flooded, but I am getting myself to do that. Okay, let's get started this morning with the headlines. You already know that the numbers to call when phone lines are now open. Please keep your calls and your comments respectful, not divisive, peaceful, and all of that good stuff. But in the meantime, you can send your messages to 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. All right, let's get into it this morning.
From the Punch newspaper, Operation Kosaye. Police hunt kidnappers in Lagos, Ogun Forest.
Operation what now?
Kosaye.
Operation what now?
Kosaye.
Kosaye, kitty. Like, you see, these are the issues. One of the things they say is that Nigerians, we're such a fun-loving people that we find, the good or the joy in really, really chaotic and sad situations. But Operation Kosaye, they should have been fun. What? Because you said Operation Kosaye, but we've not gotten the kids back.
No. Edo man fakes own kidnap, demands 4 million from family.
I was reading something this morning, and the person said the commercialization of insecurity, and I was like, whoa, because what do you mean the commercialization of insecurity? And he's not lying. Now people have turned.
How will you demand 4 million from your family?
People have turned it into family business. I think 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago, we talked about a similar thing as well, where somebody now people are faking their kidnaps to get money from your family members. If they catch that person, they should arrest the person. They should convict the person, arrest the person, and the family members should disown that person. Yes. Because what do you mean?
Actually, in Islamic law, there's a very grievous and serious punishment
for this kind of thing. I love it. That's what we should do for them. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper. Police arrest child trafficking suspects, rescue 4 children in Niger. We are so grateful for that. Doctors give federal government fresh 4-week deadline over unpaid allowances. I really do not like to see things like this because we've complained about the brain drain in Nigeria, and we've also complained that, look, if you don't pay the doctors and nurses their money, we cannot afford to allow our hospitals to be shut down because government is owing them money. And one can say, they should still be working. But you yourself, think about it. In that your shop, you wrote at the top, no credits, come tomorrow. Yeah. You at your office, if they don't pay your salary, you know what you're going to do. You come online and be complaining about it, or you write anonymous letter to say that you pay your money. So a man who has worked, a woman who has worked, a laborer is entitled to their wages, right? and we already know that our doctors are going over and beyond.
Yes, their
What was it we said? Is
shifts.
it 1 to 600? We said one doctor 600 people in Nigeria.
Yes.
That is scary. So this is not. Moving on.
Moving on.
Federal government.
Moving on to the This Day newspaper. Wife accuses husband of years of domestic violence, infidelity in explosive divorce battle. NAFDAC flags of fraud, rather, beg your pardon. NAFDAC flags of read the food label campaign to empower consumers.
Yes, it's important that we read the food.
Yes.
Yes.
Many times you buy expired products because you don't read. You
Yes.
have to read.
You have to really know what, besides even the expiration dates, know the content,
The contents of what you are eating.
what does it have? Is it
Yes.
more of processed or chemicals
Yes.
and less of actual nutrients that should be feeding your body? Health is wealth, or health is wealth. Moving on to the Daily Trust, we have Akara. Coolly and survival. Is this the hope Nigerians were promised? I don't want to talk about this. We will get into the analysis this morning. I'm just going to jump and pass. Abducted Borno pupils. I was saying to Neva this morning, I said, look, there's some things that just rile me up, and I'm like, there's no need. I don't have power. I don't even have the emotional bandwidth for
You
it.
just see and pass.
I see and pass, but this one I cannot see and pass because it concerns all of us. Abducted Borno pupils. We don't know if our kids are alive. You know, a lot of people are still focused on the Oyo pupils.
Yes.
But we have from Borno, we have from
Yes.
Kwara, we have from some from Niger State, we have some from Sokoto State, we have some from Yobe State, like literally almost
Kwara
like
State is
Kaduna State.
whole
Kwara
community.
State.
Whole community.
Yes.
Including their monarch.
Yes.
May God save us.
That really. Yeah, moving on.
Moving on to the Vanguard newspaper. Motorists, commuters stranded as floods submerge Lagos roads. This thing, Amoshon wins women's 100 meters hurdles at Paris Diamond League.
Yay! Congratulations to them. And as I say, women, we achieved. That's all. Like we achieved. Okay, the Premium Times newspaper, NDLEA, seizes 12.4 billion naira cannabis shipment at Lagos port, arrests suspected traffickers. Like I've been saying, and I'll continue to say, I really, really honor and celebrate the NDLEA, the one she said. But sound of warning. I hope it's not that they are doing this and then we'll not see the drugs back in. Let it be that those drugs are destroyed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, we have LASMA launches toll-free emergency hotline to improve traffic response in Lagos. Moving on. I refuse to tell them that. Nope.
Moving on to the Nation newspaper, Eba Island. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Eba. Anyhow, Ilaje monarch threatens protest over controversial oil well.
Who? That's what the next one.
Ayedatiwa Obore Worry.
Mm-hmm.
Yusuf rally support for Tinubu.
Yeah. In the cable newspaper, we have troops arrest suspected ISWAP spy over planned attack on Borno military bases. FCCPC warns oil marketers against exploitation, says current petrol prices do not match crude oil costs. At this point, I'm tired of talking about this thing, so people should be continuing the thefts that you're doing.
Moving on to the Daily Post newspaper. Nigeria's hunger crisis real, not politics. Adamu Ojo tell Ononuga. Okay. Oyo abduction. Afenifere warns against acceding terrorist demands as troops tighten siege.
Okay, moving on to the Tribune newspaper. You cannot be a thief and a policeman. FCC Commissioner of Police warns against extortion. Is this your advice? Is late, but okay. Delay is not Delilah. Governor Oyebanji's wife reiterates commitment to reducing maternal mortality.
Then lastly, from the pen pushing newspaper, 10 suspects arrested over killing of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria chairman. Ogun State's 28-kilometer coastal highway stretch will be ready before end of year. says Governor Abiodun.
All of you should be building a wave. That's good. That's what you want your legacy to be. That's
Call
all.
for another repona.
Okay. Speaking of, on Friday we had some the chairman and the executive secretary of the electricity committee in Areco come on the show to talk on her lens. It was her lens to talk about the state of electricity. Their lights came on Sunday night, Saturday night into Sunday.
I don't. Oh, I think so.
There was light on Sunday.
Yes, there was light.
Light on Sunday, but when I drove into Arepo this morning, there was no light. So I don't know.
The lights went off, I think, around 9, Abby. 8:30 yesterday night.
Let's hope that the light comes up, because 8:30 till this morning there hasn't been light. That's about maybe 10 hours. Yes. 10 hours? No, 11 hours. Yes, it was 8:30. And we are hoping that the light will be restored, because look, we are also based here in Arepo, and we need lights. We need power. When there's absence of power, makes people very, very useless and very, very draggy. And I can't believe that 27 years after democracy, we're still talking about power in Nigeria. But you know what? Let's just get into it. Our analyst has joined us this morning. Good morning, Emmanuel. How are you?
Hi, Fumi. Good morning, Fumi. How was your weekend? And how are you doing this morning?
I'm not sure that we can hear Emmanuel.
Yes, we can hear him.
Oh, sorry, I was done with that. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now? Well, I'm just asking if you guys can hear me, because I can't pick up anything here at my end.
Okay, I can hear you now. Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And how are you doing? Trust you ladies are doing okay this beautiful Monday morning.
Oh, good. At least for myself, I'm good. Alhamdulillah. How are you for me?
I'm good. Emmanuel, I'm good. My first question before we get into our headlines this morning. Over the weekend, on Friday specifically, the First Lady, the mother of the nation, spoke about how we should start frying akara and quickly. And I'm not even trying to be shady or anything like that, because there's been varied reactions toward this, and I wanted to get your 2 cents on it. I was saying to Nima this morning that look, I don't have a problem with anybody saying that people should go and fry akara or to go and fry kuli or whatever, because we have. But I remember that when I was in secondary school, it was meat pie. I remember my mom used to give me to sell, in secondary school. And I'm sure that a lot of us have these sort of stories that our moms were traders. However, I wonder at the approach with which, or the agbe kale is what I said this morning. How you say these things, especially with how the economy is turning on, with the state of insecurity. I was like, ma'am, nobody's saying you can't say this, but how are you saying it is very, very important. That's number one. Number two is the case of, I feel like whenever we have people in government come and talk about things like this, they say it with an air of condescension, maybe, because they're not saying, oh, let's create 1 million jobs for the young people. They're saying, oh, let's fry akara. Again, for some reason, it comes across to me as a downing on that labor, and there's dignity in labor. That's number two. Number three is, we were all here when, mama be this, so we not get another one. And then she gave, somebody said her besties. She gave them heluxes, political, the APC, the female leaders. She gave them heluxes and gave them vehicles, gave them money as well. And when you put it on a scale, right, of what she's giving, who probably she sees as maybe her fellow elites, and what she's saying to lower class people. And these lower class people is that some of them, some of them have sent their children to university, but let's not even get into it. The scale is not tipped. It's not even Kodogba. But Emmanuel, wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, I'm just surprised that you are taking their word seriously. You think they care about you. They've never cared about you, but I'm just surprised that you guys are taking their word seriously.
Oh no,
The
no, no!
way,
I'm not taking that word seriously.
the
This is
way,
like
the way they
Nigerians
feel.
are.
We just want you to discuss it.
See, the way they feel is the way they tell you. What they see you as is what they tell you. They've looked at you as citizens and they felt like the best you can get is to fry akara. With due respect, frying bean cake is something that you do in your house, you eat, but they should use their senses and use their level of intelligence. That we have about 200 million Nigerians. If 50 million Nigerians start frying akara, who are those that are going to eat the akara? If 50 million Nigerians start selling kuli kuli, who will eat the kuli kuli? The plight of a commoner is the fact that we want relief, not change. Relief is something you get immediately for the pain. Change is what takes out what is giving you the pain and the pain disappears. But we want relief. When I say relief, see, most of these people that are there are just privileged individuals who happens to get into position of power either by luck, crooked means, or just by aligning with the right channel. But as I've always said, most Nigerian leaders don't have the capacity, the level of empathy and intelligence to speak to people. Because this is just back to back insult. After a man, Bayo Nonuga, said Nigerians are not hungry. After a comedian, Sheilo, said Nigerians are safer now. I just look at it and I laugh because your reality is not their reality. And you want to live in their world. You want them to notice you. You want to serve at their table. But the truth is, it just reminds me of a whole lot of things while growing up, that the rich will always remain rich because the poor that has the knowledge of power against the rich is always asking for crumbs from the rich. And that has been our situation in Nigeria. So when they wake up and then they tell you that you need to fry, they've given you grants, go and use the grant to fry akara. They are not looking at how you can multiply wealth, how you can add to the informal sector of the economy. They are not thinking about the box. If I come now and I give you a grant for me, and I tell you that the grant is for you to start selling pomo, not pomo on a large scale, but like fried pomo by the roadside, and I'm giving 2,000 of you that grant, I'm not thinking that you have the brain to use the grant I'm giving you to develop and multiply. I'm giving you options. Akara, people have sold akara and they've made a huge amount of money. They have business empire from it. But they should look at the population. They should look at Nigerians. And if they are saying that these productive years of Nigerian youth, akara is the next thing for them to fight. Yes, we'll fire akara. They've told us that they are going to recruit all of us in Nigeria army before it, and we are going to use cassava beans, ewa, agbado. And we've been eating it. Has been a government of corn by the corn to the corn. But they're not telling us that since the government has been for government of corn by the corn for the corn and to the corn, let's advance it. Let's make it government of akara and kulikuli to the people and gari. So they are just telling you that, see, your daily meal, they've told you that you are going to take gari, but we're not bringing another thing to add to the gari that you'll be taking. And what is that? We are giving you the option of kulikuli and akara, and you can make it at home. And trust me, I spent my weekend inviting a chef to come and teach me how to fry akara on a large scale. And I've been learning. By next week, I should advance and start selling my own akara and kulikuli. I'm just looking for a plot of land to do that. A land space that even the local government and the state government tax authority and all their touts will not disturb me and say, why am I setting shop to fry akara here when my first lady has asked me to fry akara? Because there's another thing, your first lady is asking you to fry akara and kulikuli and sell gari by the roadside. And then you set up shop to do that, and tout who belongs to local government or who belongs to one tax agency that doesn't know how to use people who have gone to school, but people who don't understand and who don't know how to read and write, to collect levies will now come to the shop and pack my cooking tool or frying tool for akara and kulikuli away. That will not be accepted. So I don't even know if Women Radio can look for a space in front of their office and allow me, because I don't know if someone has taken it up, because space to fry akara, to sell kulikuli now is not very hard to get in Nigeria, because a lot of youth now, this is what they've asked us to do. So if Women Radio can at least give me a space, or any of our callers can help me get a space where I can start this venture, and then on Monday mornings, I have to go and hustle, and I don't have to be on this program to speak English and have headache about Nigeria issue. I think she has given us the best advice of the year. If you have not gotten an advice, you've gotten an advice as the second half of the year is starting, that you need to be productive. And productivities to them come from frying akara, from selling kulikuli, and from selling gari. Who knows? You sell gari, please add cold water to it so that people who are coming can take cold gari with kulikuli and akara. The choice is theirs. They have to pick their choice. That prepares a table before them in the presence of this harsh economy. And our first lady has said that, and we need to give kudos to her. But the truth is, that is how they perceive you. That's how they view you in Nigeria. You only think you have influence. You only have your level of self-importance. But to them, you are not.
Wow. Wow. I was even going to say, I'll add to it that it was this Sunday Daria had come out to also say that, oh, his mom was a petty trader. And honestly, I'm inclined to want to lean toward what you're saying, because now everybody's saying, oh yes, my mom was a trader. We didn't know your mommy was a trader before you came out start saying these things. But you know what? Let's just get into it this morning. The numbers to call 07000 917 917 or 0800 1235 917. Those are the numbers to call. You can send your text messages, WhatsApp messages, or your voice notes to 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. Okay, Emmanuel. The first headline is on, is it the registration? One thing. And when I saw it, I was like, are we back at this? What exactly is happening with INEC? And I'm trying to be as objective and not taking sides as possible, because when I read through this article from the Guardian newspaper, I was very, very concerned about many things. Apparently, or allegedly, let me put it that way, the NDC has accused INEC of denying it access to the candidates nomination portal for the 2027 general elections. That's number one. And number two is also that there's been a back and forth between the Kwara Court and NDC, because they're saying that, oh no, NDC did not finish their registration, so they're supposed to be deregistered as against the 2027 election. And when seeing all these things, for me, is worrying, because NDC is not the only party that's come out to say, come out to ask if INEC is playing hanky-panky. We had about 3 weeks ago, Accord, APM, quite a few of them, ADC, I think, had come out to say, look, there's hanky-panky being played at the INEC. Can we trust that INEC is going to be on the straight and narrow with regards to the elections in 2027?
Well, it's just you waking up and asking me that, can you trust that Agbero show the motor park would not molest drivers? That's just
Imane, what you mean? Imane, see, I'm not I'm not the one that looks for your trouble.
No, I didn't say you look for trouble. You asked me a question. And I'm answering your question. You said, can we say
yes,
INEC?
Imane, but you're not saying you're the one that just waking up. Imane, I'm not the enemy here. What I'm
not saying. I think you get my analogy right. I'm saying that it's just like you asking me that what was it called? The Agbero. Emmanuel, can we say that the Agbero Atosho, the motor park, would not molest drivers and run after them on the express road? That is the question you're asking me about INEC. I don't want to cast any doubt on INEC, and I don't want to, because the INEC is meant to be independent. INEC is meant to be an unbiased empire. INEC is meant to stand firm. But I think with Amupitan coming on board, we've seen a public stand that we've not seen before in a while from him. And that public stand is leaning more a bit towards the ruling political party. The unbiased nature of INEC is what makes them stand out and why Nigerians trust them. But I think what we've been having over a period of time is the fact that INEC itself has not lived up to that expectation, and there's no trust between the Nigerian citizen and INEC. It's just like taking to the football pitch, and you know that the officials, even with the use of their VAR, which they call IREF Porter, we have it VAR in football, video assistant referee, and they have their own IREF Porter. You are not even sure that they would officiate well. You are not even sure that when you refer them back to their VAR, their IRF portal, that they will also make the right decision. See, INEC has not given Nigerians the belief and the trust that they should trust and believe in them to give them a free and fair election. First part of it is trust. And how do people trust you give them a free and fair election? It's through the process. Look at all the process of INEC up till now. Has there been anyone that speaks trust to the Nigerian citizens? Has INEC be assuring Nigerians that they are going to be unbiased, they are going to be fair, and they are going to be good and do good by Nigerians according to the laid down laws and principles established to govern election and electioneering in Nigeria? These are the questions we should be asking. These are it. But the truth is, see, this you are going to see more and more of it. Don't forget, during the last election, a state residential electoral commissioner announced someone as winners. Even the national television brought it up in northern part of the country. But up to today, your NBC did not even sanction the television station. So you look at it and then you ask yourself, you see, me, I always refer us to the fact that even in George Orwell, the animal farm were more organized than us. People feel like I'm saying a whole lot. But that is just the truth. You see what is on ground and then you ask yourself, if sanity were to be a means of identification, how many of us will be sane in Nigeria? So it is not about do Nigerians trust INEC? Do INEC trust itself to give us a free and fair election? If I am to drive a car, I must trust myself that the skills I've learned, the skills I've gathered, learning how to drive, I would be able to drive a car. That is the position of I stand with INEC. Back to the NDC. See, the NDC should know that this is meant to happen. We saw the crisis that erupted in the Labour Party. We saw the judgment that they got that Nadi Usman should take over. But that judgment was not even effected after all the writing to INEC, except until when a certain man left the Labour Party. We saw when they gathered under the ADC, we saw that trouble and storm started. Who brought the trouble? Who brought the storm? Then we saw that when they even splitted into different opposition parties, that some people thought they were going to the PRP led by Akim Baba Ahmed. The PRP started having their own issues until it was so that they were not going to the PRP, they were going to NDC. You look at the date that suit was reopened and stated again at, what was it called? The Federal High Court in Lokoja. It was after certain people moved to the NDC. The NDC was at peace with its court order for registration until certain elements moved there. And when those elements move there, some people felt they need to suppress them and bring them down. Why are some people afraid about participating in a free, fair, competitive election? Every democracy, that's why I said at the beginning, Nigerians want a fix, not a change. And even the people that promise change in their party, from 2015, they've been fixing, not giving us change. Fixing is taking the temporary pain away. Let me put it this way. You have a room that smells. And instead of looking for the cause of that bad odor, you spray fragrance every day. Your sense will be conditioned to the fact that fragrance is the solution to that. And you keep looking for stronger fragrance to do, whereby it can be a dead rat or a bad plate of food that you forgot somewhere in the room that is bringing the bad odor. Every Nigerian wants a private fix. If I ask you now, for me, what do you want in life? You tell me you want good schools for your children, private schools. You want to be able to afford foreign trips anytime you want to take it. You want to have money, anything you want to buy, you should be able to buy it. Maybe because of bad light, you want to go fully solar energy. You are thinking private fix. And this is the thinking of every Nigerian. And that is why it is easy for people to manipulate the process on us and we keep quiet because ours is not for the change. See, we say we want a working Nigeria. Ask most Nigerians. They don't want a working Nigeria. They want a Nigeria where they have their own private fix and they keep quiet. That is why it is easy for politicians to buy all our activists and turn them to cash activists. Because they fix a problem in their life and they have that fix. So it is very hard for them. We don't want change because change comes over a long period of time and it comes with pain. And what we are seeing in our judiciary is not a change to give us free and fair election as politicians has always been promising. It is a fix to give the politicians who are in power their own private fix so that they can remain in power pending the time that another person brings a fix and chases them out of power. If we want change, the system has to be strong. But the electioneering process, the process for our election, the process in our judiciary has not been that strong. And that is why you see when it comes to election, politicians run to court, getting frivolous court orders and bringing it and affecting and scattering the electioneering process. And INEC itself, that ought to be an unbiased umpire, we saw when their chairman made a stand against the NDC when there was a stay of execution order. And he is even a lawyer, he's no advocate. How about me, a layman that does not even know the law? So we say we want this. See, everything that is happening, NDC, ADC, PDP, all the Ds, except for the APC that is happening, it is not that we can't command a change, but they all want a fix. See, if you fix the problem for the ADC now, they will forget about the NDC because they are standing. And all the political parties are part of the process. But every one of them wants a private fix for whatever it is they are doing. So that is the irony for me. That is what we stand to gain. That is what is happening to us. So for the NDC, the battle, we know the battle will come. How they navigate the battle now, because their supreme leader was saying that they have candidates for all the 774 local government elections, candidates for all the 360 House of Representative election, for the 109 senatorial districts, 36 state governors, they have candidates for every position. So how they fight that collectively would be what is going to determine if they stand. They said they are quickly appealing it and appealing all this, but the truth was the political party that initiated the suits after Obi Kwankwaso and a lot of people flooded the party. Was the party not aware of all these things? Was the party part of the process for political parties registration for the last window that was opened? The party made a stand for the 2015 election, as I gathered, and they were not admitted. Are they a party to these suits? The window for appeal in that appeal court I know was closed, but why go back to the same high court? I know that an order can be vacated based on material evidence or something. I'm not a lawyer, but I can get a lawyer to explain that to you in a term you understand. But it's an irony. And out of all the political parties in Nigeria, the ones with major candidates, which one is free of headache? None.
We have a call, Emmanuel. Please hold on. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Prince.
Good morning, Fumi. Good morning, Emmanuel. Good morning, Nima. Good morning, Nigerians across the base.
Good morning.
Good morning, Prince.
Now, wow, Mr. Emmanuel, I don't think it was Fumi that you should be facing this morning. You were too harsh on her. Anyway, first, Mr. Emmanuel, I have land for Akara, Kulikuli, and roasted corn. And we plant rock corn so much in my place in Kogi State. I'm from Ibaji local government. That is, if you can go there, I have free land.
You can be my supplier. I want to try corn in the city.
Imagine a mother of a nation or a country telling graduates to go and sell kulikuli, and somebody came on board and the mother trained him. Why didn't you inherit the business of your mother who was so successful and trained you to university and whatever you became, and live where you are now? Stop sucking Nigerian money. Why not go and take that? Those of them, I know they will come for you this morning. They will come. Eh? But look at this, please. Let's go to NDC. For me, if you remember, when Emmanuel was talking, something came to my mind. If you remember the voice note saga that came out in respect of Tinubu and whatever, and they denied. Please, let us play that voice note again over and over and look at what is going on. Wherever Obi go, as long as it's Obi, that party might not be able to stand. But if Nigerians don't wake up, we will continue. Please, Emmanuel, I want to find out from you. Can a country run for how many years without proven budget, national budget? Is your country operating on any national budget? What is the current amount that has been spent in this country based on national budgeting? Where is the budget that is operating in Nigeria economy? I want to find out from those of you. And again, journalists, you are not helping this country. Your chamber, your department is not helping this country. I know that. For me, let me ask you this final question from me. For me, if you are working in WFM, let's assume your salary is 500,000 per month. Just like the professor I'm a teacher, who's, I believe, the highest professor in Nigeria is nothing. They are not up to 500 or 600,000 per month. Please, if you have opportunity of collecting something in billions every month and some other remuneration around it every week, will you do your best to protect whoever is giving you that money? I leave that question for the journalist to answer. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Prince. For I'm going to allow Emmanuel to answer your questions. It's not me you're asking a question, but thank you for fighting my battles.
We have a voice note.
Okay.
So.
Is my name. I'm calling from Ikorodu. On the NDC, the registration, I don't know how some people will be saying everything is from Mr. President. As far as I'm concerned, it is the same court that give this NDC life, and it is the same court that want to take the life of NDC. I don't just understand. I don't even know in the first instance why a court will compel an INEC to register a political party. If that should be the way, nobody will apply to INEC anymore. Any other people will just go to court and say, court compel INEC to register me. If the INEC is an independent organization, there must be a way of education and everything. The court that they made a mistake because this NDC use was why the court said everybody should come together. The PCM should join in that court. In that case. And for Operation Kusaye, between Lagos State and Okusi, it's a good idea and it's a welcome development. I hope they continue in this way so that all these criminals cannot get a place in our forest to the extent of kidnapping people. They should do everything possible to make sure they send these people back to wherever they came from. Good morning, additional was my name.
Thank you so much, Additional Wasiu, for your message. It's good to put a voice to your text messages that you're always sending. Do we have any other messages?
Yes, we have some messages. Morning to you in the studio. On the registration of NDC, it's this same court that gives to this party, and if same court take life of NDC. My question is why people attribute it to the ruling party and Mr. President. The ruling party and Mr. President will want the vote of opposition to be divided. If I may ask, why is it that whenever opposition wins in court, it is a victory for democracy, but when they lose in court, they claim it's Mr. President and APC? And to refresh your memory, this is not the first time a court will reverse its decision. Why? Even if opposition is unable to impregnate their wife by Mr. President, my advice to opposition is that they should do everything to cover their inefficiency. From Mr. Adeshino Wasiu in Ikorodu. Then from Mr. Olushoga Ajayi from Odunla Ikorodu. The problem with Nigeria is not institutions. It's the fact that we weaken these institutions. They become tools in the hands of those who are in power at any point in time, from maybe DSS, civil defense, police, army. etc. In 5 years' time, state police will not be fighting any crimes, but serving as enforcers and intimidating tools against the opposition for the governor and the ruling party in that state. You may copy and save this post. Thank you very much, Olushaga Ajayi and Adeshina Wasil, for your contributions this morning.
All right. Imana, would you like to address any of them, or should we just go to the next one?
Prince had asked some questions about budgets and is that being implemented. That's a topic for another day, because everybody has kept quiet on that aspect, and he actually had asked a valid question. But when government is on propagandas and lies, it is very hard for the citizens to know the truth. And I think since a part of last year, I've been saying that those who ought to bring the truth to the citizens are busy frolicking with the tax masters. And you know those who I meant. I call them the fourth member of the realm. They call themselves fourth estate of the realm. And this is what has been happening. But going further and speaking towards Mayo, I think, said about court giving life to the NDC and court taking life out of it. If court has given life to the NDC and court wants to take life from the NDC, I think taking life should be done in the right way. Taking life should be done in the right way. One thing I'm after with our judiciary, you see, when growing up, they always tell you that the judiciary is the last hope of a common man. But can you ask yourself if the common man has a last hope? Because even Honorable Justice Chinyere Seriake versus FRN 2016 said, when the law speaks, every other thing remains silent. But I think in this part, in our part now, when the law speaks, there are things that still speaks. When the law speaks, those who ought to remain silent choose what part of the law they want to hear. See, I'm an advocate of processes, the right process, because see, if the right process is not in place, our democracy will not be strengthened. If the right process is not in place, we will not have institutions capable of standing on their own. So anything that wants to play out in court, let it play out in court. Let INEC do their own independence. INEC should not be interpreter of the part they want to interpret. That's why I use the case of ADC to you, that INEC scored an own goal in that regard. And that showed that are you really, really unbiased? Because you need to maintain your own sanity, you need to maintain your own unbiased nature so that Nigerians can see. But it's going to be a long game. 7 months to the election, they're going to be having a whole lot of this. Don't forget, NDC is still there. Don't forget, ADC is there. Don't forget, 2 PDP with parallel faction. But the supreme leader of a party of PDP is feeding candidates in APC in his own state, another political party. So don't forget. Don't forget that the chairman, PDP Governors Forum, is feeding candidate in another party in his own state. So, okay, so only one governor in PDP and is the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum. Apologies on that. He's feeding the candidates in his own state. So everything seems not to be well with political party participation and our multi-party political system. And that's why some of us are agitated that every political party cannot just get it wrong at the same time. What is happening? And with everything happening, those who ought to bring sanity, that is judiciary, we are not getting sanity from what we are getting from the judiciary. And we need the judiciary to step in and give us sanity. Let those who ought to be out know. Let those who ought to be in know. So that we can focus on a good electioneering process. Not this chaos 7 months to an election. I'm still young, but I've never seen it this way before.
All right, thank you so much, Emmanuel. The numbers to call 07000 917 917 or 0800 123 5917. You can send your text message text messages, WhatsApp messages, or voice notes to 0703 1756 537 or always 155 917 917. Right about now, the time is 16 minutes past 8, and you're still tuned to Women Radio 91.7 FM. This is the daily news review program where we are currently having conversations with our analyst, Emmanuel Olonade, on Nigeria and all that affects her. Nima, over to you.
Okay. Motorist commuters stranded at flood submerged Lagos roads. Torrential rainfall brought commercial and vehicular activities to a standstill across Lagos yesterday as flash floods submerged major roads, caused motorists and commuters, beg your pardon, to be stranded, and this triggered hours of traffic gridlock in several parts of the metropolis. Okay. I don't know, Emmanuel, if you were affected by this yesterday or did you hear about it? Because this rain started around noon yesterday and lasted till about 4 p.m. and it inundated city roads, leaving many vehicles trapped in flood waters, while others broke down, worsening congestion around the state. Like,
Emmanuel, yesterday, oh, we have a call.
okay. Good morning, Evangelist Dixon.
Hello, good morning, Madam Nema and Emmanuel. I just appreciate God returning. Alhamdulillah. I thank God for everything because if God did not give opportunity, I don't know where I'll be. And as I always say, I keep on praying for Nigeria and for the leader as the Bible says. No matter what we do with him. If God is not us. Anytime I keep on saying we should learn to do the right thing, must start from us. Because we can do and get away here, can get away from God. So all that, why we're not happy with some of the political parties, they are not really playing their position as a position. Why must you have to wait till quarter to go since you know you have an enemy? It's not like football field. So your enemy wants you to, it's not going to be possible now. Immediately after this election now, all of them will go back. Instead of started planning, so they can plan well and be able to face the way. It's easy to unseat the party. It's not easy now. And if you are there, so you don't like your position to take over. Sometimes it's only you do things when it's all concerned with keep quiet. Some of us get there, the same thing with it. So you don't need to pay money on this, but all I need to say, Nigeria was not like this before. And I think have no matter how good courts are. If that change we are necessary, because Nigeria is taking corrupt. Handing up for which institution, which profession, and you say it's not corrupt. We have legal up there doing their own. Some of us are done. Sometimes they say, you need to, if you lead that enter fire, we enter fire. We should always know one day, as Bible and Quran, so after death is judgment. You can do what you like. God has created freedom. But remember, one day, and you say, I call it a lot long. So whatever we are saying or doing, we know that God is somewhere watching. So we must go back on that. If you like do that, if you like do the wrong thing. But the day is coming, we give account to God. That's what we want to do right. Nigeria will be good or depend on us. We should always let it. Nigeria will be great again. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you all.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon. Yesterday, I was on my way out. I had an event I wanted to go to, and I was stuck in traffic, Emmanuel, for about an hour and a half. Did not go for my event. Could only go to see a family member with my husband that yesterday, and it was horrific. It was. And here's the thing: I bought fuel 20k inside my husband's car, and Emmanuel, my husband's car is big, and. That car, like I was joking, somebody was joking with me in church after service. The person said, once you do like this, oh, it's a law, right? If I buy 50k inside that vehicle, it don't used to reach half tank. So I don't like to drive the car, but because my own car is not around, right? And I'm still very, 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 very salty about it. So the 20k fuel, Emmanuel, my fuel tank had gotten to quarter tank. So I'm like, once it's quarter tank, anything can happen, right? And that car, once it starts going down, it will not start. That's how bad it will not start, because it's like, see my body, what do you want me to start with, kind of thing. So the 20k, Emmanuel, that I bought fuel with yesterday, oh Lord. And if the traffic was that, maybe there was a vehicle that was stopped on the road, is different. That Maryland Ojota stretch
around
was flooded. So the both sides of the roads, those going to Ikorodu,
Yes.
those going to Maryland, we were stuck because half of the road was flooded, and we all imagine how many cars had to now file into one line. What are we going to do about the state of flood in Nigeria? We talk about this every year in, year out. I remember talking about this last year in, year out, about the state of flood. Somebody might come and say, "Oh, Nigerians too are dirty; they throw things on the floor." Yes, but that place doesn't have the drainage. It doesn't. What's the way? And then the new road that Okwebi, the new road that has been commissioned is locked. So people literally moved things from the road to be passing that bridge because it was ridiculous. As I yesterday, what's the solution before we go? I'm tired.
Well, basically, for me, what you add and what you do have in Lagos is flash flood. And flash flood, for strength of geography, is meant to happen. Lagos is a coastal city. You can't live in a coastal city and you have oceans and water bodies surrounding you, and you have rain most part of the year, and you will not experience flash flood. Because I will not sit here and feign ignorance and attack the state government that what was it called, that there's flooding. It's flash flood. 1 hour, 2 hours after the rain, everywhere becomes normal. You don't even know that those roads were submerged when it was raining. What happened is that the tide increases when it rains. And when the tide increases, the drainage system, the canals, are not able to discharge water into the ocean because of the rising tide when it rains. So when those waters are not able to be discharged into the ocean, you see them on your streets. And because our drainage system also is not properly manned and is not that wide to accommodate those volumes of water, you see them on the road. A case study of Onipan to Anthony area of Lagos State, when it rains, because of the large volume of water coming out from different channels and the inability of our drainage and canal system to discharge water at that present moment based on the rising tide in the ocean, the water stays with us for about an hour or two. Immediately the tide starts going down, you see the discharge taking place into the ocean. So this is one of the reason, the effect of staying in a coastal area. Now, let me tell you also, I've given the nature its own. I also give the government its own. Because the people on the Lekki-Epe corridor axis, the Lekki axis, are experiencing severe flooding now. There's always flooding, but it's a bit severe now, based on the fact that the environmental impact assessments that some people complain about for the coastal road, I think is beginning to take shape now. Don't forget that there was sand filling, water body was pushed back, water channel were disaligned, or how will I put it? So now what you're seeing is the fact that there's going to be flooding, more flooding in some areas now due to that. And what are they doing to correct that? That is left on human factor. But the rising tide, the flash flooding, is not flooding you see in Lagos. If you see flooding, you people will not go, you will not use that road for 1 week, you will not use it for 3 days. So you cannot use it for 1 hour, and the volume of cars plying Lagos road makes it very hard. So flash flooding is something that occurs, and it will continue to occur in Lagos State. But they can only find ways of means to reduce it by giving different discharge channels into the ocean. But it's something that would, when it rains in Lagos, there's areas you don't go because they are coastal area and flash flooding is meant to happen. So Lagosians should know this by now, that you cannot push water back. You cannot live in coastal area and you don't expect the tide to rise when it rains heavily. It's been raining continuously, I think, except for Saturday for a while now, and the tide will keep rising. So assuming it rains today, you are still going to experience that. It rains tomorrow. So it's something you should know by this time, and get ready to swim for 1 or 2 hours when it's raining and you're going out.
I agree with you because it wasn't last week, I think the week before, when the rains had started again, the coastal road came up, and the way somebody explained it to me was, if you push the water, I think it's Mr. Lyons, you wanted to say, where do you want the water to go? Which means that you have to create even more channels to find a way for the water to maybe go and link to the Atlantic. But what we find in most cases with regards many of the infrastructural developments that we have in Nigeria is the only thing for the time being. They're not thinking about what the ripple effect it would have on the network of roads eventually. I don't know. Right now on the island, as of 2 weeks ago, my friend was telling me that her ground floor was even flooded. I said, you know what? Praise be to God that I do not even try to pressure my husband that we should go to the island. But then there are areas on the mainland as well that are flooded. Somebody said in all 20 years of living in Bagada, she has never seen Bagada flooded.
No. For me, for Bagada, people should know history and they should understand. Bagada was a place that experienced severe flood between 2002 and 2005 or 6. It was Fashola that cleared channels for Bagada, and they are not maintaining that channels. They need to see if they don't maintain it. Like Bagada will return to Bagada of old. So people think that Bagada is not. Why Bagada not be flooded when there is a river, an ocean that goes through the back of Bagada? No, now they should. This is pure geography. This is pure climate. So if Bagada, if they don't clear changes, it is going to keep happening. What they need to do is they should go back and read history. Bagada was a flood prone until Fashola work. People work to ensure that places are, but the maintenance culture of those who live there and also the successive government determines how that place will last. So they're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. Maybe they should just quickly work on it, except they want to buy boats and start paddling their way to work.
All right. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I didn't know this, and I lived in Obanikoro for the early part of my life. I didn't even know this. I know that in Obanikoro there's a canal behind, not Obanikoro first one, the main Obanikoro, and my house happens to be on the boundary of the canal. And there was a time that the canal, the wall broke, and then my house actually entered, like the one of the rooms, yes, and many things were, but it didn't click because it was just like there's a canal behind. So what my family did was we now moved. I think this way it's now distant away from the house. That doesn't still mean that you don't see water cracks on the wall. God will help us. God will help us.
God will help us.
We've come to the end of the breakfast show. Yes, of the breakfast show by way of the Daily News Review program this morning. Emmanuel, many thanks to you. I don't appreciate that you dragged me this morning. I'm not your enemy. Like I said, I can
never drag you.
You're a geography student. So yes, your geography came to play here. Maybe we should bring you on climate care to talk about this. I will work it out.
No.
Thank you. Okay, Nima.
Nine.
Oh yes. What is the news at 9:05 is her lens. Emmanuel, thank you so much. See you next week.
Thank you for coming.
Another edition of the Daily News Review. Many thanks to Rachel and Michael for producing us this morning. Bye for now.
Bye for now.